Hey there, this is Vicki with the Paper Connection. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States, and I am so happy to be with you today. Today's project is using one of my favorite stamp sets. It's one of the first that I purchased. I've actually only been a demonstrator for a year and a half, and Painted Harvest I absolutely fell in love with as soon as I saw it because I love sunflowers. But there's so much more that you can do with this stamp set. This is a card that we did at Bunko recently, and I need to give cred where cred is due. I was inspired by a card that Stamping with Anne on Pinterest did. I saw this design. She had it, I think, on a wood background, and it just was, I might have changed the colors, I can't remember, but I decided to go with burlap, and I cased her card, which is copy and share everything and give credit. So I modified it a little bit, but I absolutely love how it turned out. Today I'm going to make it with this same appearance, but I'm going to turn it into a birthday card, and Saturday's card is going to be a fun fold that is also going to use the same stamp set, and it's going to be for Christmas, so you'll just have to wait for it. Okay, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with our Painted Harvest card. Okay, so this is a photopolymer stamp set. So I'm bringing in my Stampin' Pierce mat. With our photopolymer stamps, they're the clear stamps, and they just seem to work better if you have something that's cushiony under it. So I am bringing in my scrap paper, my well-loved scrap paper, and we are going to use Mossy Meadow as our card base. And as I mentioned before, I'm looking for my bone folder now. Don't know where it is, but I'll just use, okay, if you can't find your bone folder, which I think I just saw it, but here's what we're going to do. If you can't find your bone folder, take a block and you just go along the edge like that, and it works the same as a bone folder. Okay, this is 8.5 by 5.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4. This is Mossy Meadow. So now I'm just going to set that aside. Then I'm going to bring in the rest of my pieces, which this is crushed curry, and this is from the Pressed Petals Designer Series paper. This paper is so pretty. I love the greenery on one side, the burlap on the other side. There's all sorts of beautiful flowers in Mary Merlot and Blueberry Bushel. Just gorgeous. It's thinner than our normal Designer Series paper, but you get, I think, 40 sheets. I think it is. I may be wrong about that. You get at least double of what you would normally get, though, just because it is not the thick stuff. You would not want to create 3D projects out of this because it's just not thick enough. But it's just such beautiful paper that you can do all sorts of things with. So all of my measurements, dimensions, all the products, everything will be listed at the bottom of the video. And hopefully by the time this video is aired, a link for my new website will be down there too. If it's not, though, if it's not live yet, just click on or go down to the bottom description of the video, and everything that you need will be listed there with links that you can purchase anything from me. And I would love that if you do not already have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. Okay, so then I'm going to bring in this piece of paper. Again, I don't really know what size it is. I do know that it's about 4 inches here, and it might be, let's see, it's 2 3/4 this way. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my stamp set, and I'm going to create this background. We did this at Bunko, and a couple of the ladies were like, I'm missing that piece. And they didn't realize it was stamped. I mean, it's just that pretty that it looks like it's a Designer Series paper. So I'm going to use Daffodil Delight, and I'm going to do my base. And if you'll look at the stamps, you'll see that one is larger and one is smaller. And what you want to try to do is when you stamp it, you do you want to try to keep these holes here lined up. You'll use this one first, which is your larger stamp, and you'll use it with your lighter color. So I'm just going to tap, tap, tap. And I'm going to do 3 of them. So, and I'm okay if I get off the side. I actually am wanting to do that because, for one, I want it all to fit on my page. But I also want it to look like it's been cut out of another piece of paper. Okay? So, and that looks light on some sides. You don't have to worry about that because when you come in with your mango medley, melody, sorry, not medley, but melody. And being a musical person, I do know there is a difference. So you just pat, pat, pat with the next one. Just try to line up those holes, and you're just going to go right over the top of it, like that. See, now I didn't line it up perfectly, but it's okay. It is perfect. It's kind of hard to do when you're on camera. So let me see if I can look at the screen and see if I can line these holes up. That was much better. And look how beautiful those colors. And you know what? You can mix and match all sorts of colors. I've actually seen people that have done in the blues, flowers that were in the blues. Oh, that is so pretty. So, so, so pretty. So just put, again, you want to try to match up so you don't have any white spots. Just match up those circles. If you do have white spots, just scoot it over a little bit. It won't hurt anything. Just like, or you could just ink again. There we go. All right, so now I'm going to do my little dots, and there's no rhyme or reason of how you do these. So just stick them in the middle, just like that. I'm going to make this a birthday card, and I'm using Happy Birthday from, here's a card. So I'm just going to stick that right in the middle, and I'm just going to punch it out, so no worries if it's not straight or whatever. And then I'm going to bring in my pear pizzazz. I'll bring this back down here where you can see it properly. There are two stamps for this. One is an outline, and one is, it's kind of like the first. One is a background, and then one has more texture to it. I am not worried about that on this one, on this part, because I'm just going to stamp all over. I want to fill it in. And I basically want my stem to look like it's coming out of my flowers. So I'm just going to stamp here and here and here. I also want it to kind of be a little full. And you noticed I stamped off there. I did that on purpose. There we go. Okay, it just kind of fills in some holes, brings a little, if you got any white spots you're wanting to fill in, just fill them in. Yeah, I'm going to bring in the leaf, and I want 2 leaves, so I'm just going to go here and here. Actually, I'm going to do 3, and here. And let's see, I guess I need to do something on the inside of it. Let's see, let's just do, I made you a card because you're worth it. And we'll put that on the inside. And we're going to do that in the soft suede as well. It's somebody's birthday. If you're sending them a card, you made it because they're worth it. Because you care about them and they're worth it. There you go. Now, I like the insides of my cards to be all foo-fooed a little bit. So we're gonna do a little bit more. Here is what I did with the inside of it. Isn't that pretty? All right, I'll just set that off to the side. I'm going to take my leaf punch and punch this out. And actually, there are several different stamp sets that have leaves that will coordinate with this punch. And I love that. It's so cool. You don't have to fussy cut around them, which I actually don't mind fussy cutting, but this is so much faster. And I have typically taken, here's my bone folder, I have typically taken my bone folder and gone this way with it to kind of curl them to give it some texture. But I actually saw a Canadian demonstrator, her name is Tina Zink. I saw on a video where she took them and kind of bent them in the middle like that, just like so. Like that. And it gave it such a cool look. She made it look a lot easier than I'm doing it. All right, let me go ahead and put this together. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is take this and I'm going to glue it down to my burlap. I like to go layer by layer, and I like to get all my stamping done first if possible, unless it's just a tiny bit of stamping and that is not actually on the main portion of it. So let's go ahead and put this on first, and it's going to be flush and even with the length of the paper, or at least pretty close to it. I tried to get it pretty close. There we go. That's pretty darn close. Then I'm going to glue this on and put it on the crushed curry. I think these are all about 1/8 of an inch difference in the sizes. I wanted it to be on a green base. but I wanted that texture of the burlap, and I also wanted the crushed curry, which is not actually one of the colors that I used here, but I felt like it just tied it all together. It was so rich. So now I'm just going to put this on top of here. And just stick that right in. You know what? Sorry, but I need to fix that. I should have done that before I put glue on it, but I can tell right now that my crease is not quite right, and that my paper is short just a little bit there. I'm going to trim that. Don't tell anybody. Nobody will know, okay? I'm just going to trim it off just ever so slightly right here on the corner. There, like that. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and put this on, and it really didn't affect it at all. So this is my everyday label punch. I wish I had everything memorized what size they were, but I don't. Sorry. That's why I put labels on them. Okay, I'm just going to punch that out. Then I'm going to punch a piece of the soft suede, which is darker than the rest of it, but I kind of wanted it to complement the burlap. All right, and you can see, which if you've watched my videos, you know this trick, but if you haven't, just in case you haven't watched anybody do this before, I'm just going to show you. It's the same size, but you can make it look like it is larger just by, you can do it in the middle there, or you can trim it like this. Then you're just going to put a little bit of glue right here. Place it on like that. Just make sure that they're even on both sides, which it is. And if you see, like right there, I can tell I got a little bit, I didn't get it quite straight. So what I'll do is I'll just come along here and just snip that little piece off. Whoops, I didn't snip enough. There we go. There we go. And then I'm just going to go ahead and place these on the back, and then I'll put my dimensionals on. Gonna put 3. I'm living on the wild side today, y'all. Okay. Whoops. My mama used to say, whoopsie daisy. There we go. You can tell I'm a good old Southern girl, can't you? Yes, I am, and I'm not ashamed of it. Alrighty. So now I'm gonna put my dimensionals on. I'm adding a little bit extra because I'm just kind of reinforcing those leaves. And I want to make sure that when it goes through the machine at the post office that it keeps its shape. Isn't that pretty? Sometimes my fingers get sticky and they don't want to come off so well. So I think I'm going to put it up here. Just like that. All right, and we will glue this in on the inside. I love, love, love sunflowers. Back in the 80s, no, 90s, early 90s, I actually had a bedroom that had sunflowers on the bedspread. Okay, so let's put some pretties on it. We're going to use our take your pick tool. We're going to put some pretties on it, like that. And maybe we'll put another one. I think I'll put another one right there. And then maybe I'll take another one and put it, I'm going to use a big one, and put it right down here. Oh, I was going to tell you, I went to North Dakota one time, and there were just fields and fields and fields of sunflowers. Apparently, it was a farm for sunflower seeds, and it had the most beautiful blue sky above it with those yellow sunflowers everywhere, and it was just one of the prettiest sights I think I've ever seen. I'm just amazed at the beauty of this world, and I'm very thankful for it. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed the Painted Harvest stamp set in this card. And stay tuned for Saturday's Fun Fold, because I will be doing a Christmas card using the same stamp set. So without further ado, I will say au revoir and goodbye. And if you haven't already subscribed, I hope you will subscribe to my channel. Ta-ta!